All right, we're back. We're ready for One Mic once again on a Sunday afternoon. Brothers, it's been like a month today since we got into another subject.
Wow.
Hey,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you know what you said, it seemed like forever.
Yeah, we got to do this more often, man.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Well, you know what? As we talked right after the last podcast, my thing was, let's talk about parenthood.
Okay.
And then with what's going on today, we'll tie into what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's very important, man. I really do.
Because parenthood is a big responsibility with no training. Other than the training that you got watching your parents.
That's training, though.
But it can be good.
It can be good or bad.
Right.
You can have bad coaches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think each person that's part of our life is our coach, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're influenced by that at a child age.
Yeah.
Everybody's influenced by who you come in contact with.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it this way. You always look back when your kids get grown. I don't have kids, so I'm just, your son is Sheldon.
Oh, yeah.
About to have his own child.
Yep.
And be a parent.
Yep.
With a fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 daughters and a son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, me as a person without kids, I'm outside looking in. There's a lot of people, you can't tell me how to raise your kids. Raise my kids, I'm scared.
Right. I know what you mean.
So I'll just ask, how good of a parent are you?
Wow, that's a deep question, bro.
Me?
And scale it one, scale it.
I didn't know.
I mean, anybody. I mean, scale it.
I don't think we could put a number on that, man. Because I know I can't. Let me speak for me. I can't put a number on that. Like, I can't rate me as a parent because I'm still parenting. First off, even though they are young men, and I'm afraid to put a number on it, man. I just pray that I've done what I pray I've given them. I know I've given them the tools, but what's more important than having the tools is knowing how to use the tools. You know what I mean? So I pray that I've taught them how to use the tools I've given them, because I can drop off $800 worth of lawn equipment in your front yard, and if I don't show you how to use each tool, it ain't gonna do you no good.
Exactly.
So I know I gave them the tools. I just hope.
But you know what? Here we
use it.
Okay, without rating it, but we directly have 2 different parenting styles. Your kids live in a household with you. My kids don't live in a household with me.
Right.
Okay, so if you have to look at something like a scale, like Sheldon said, 1 to 10. I may lose a point for accessibility because it's important, and I understand it. It's important to be accessible to your to your kids, but yet I do know the difference on how many points that I gain on being active. You can be accessible and not active. I do understand that, and honestly, my separation from my kids, as far as like being in the same household, gave me the ability to understand how important it is to be active. So where I neglect, I gain, because I'm active in the school. I'm active in the things that support them on an individual basis, because each child is different, so I still rate myself high, but I'm not as accessible.
But you give them that quality time.
Oh man, I give them tremendous
that time, that they can remember, that time when you speak to them, it's gonna stay there.
Absolutely.
Opposed to sometimes when you are at home parent like you are, oh, Daddy don't know what he's talking about today. They might get it 10 years later, but they may listen to him more because he's not around, on a daily basis. That's just me.
Oh, that's very possible. But if you rated yourself, Dre, immediately when you said that, as far as your accessibility, I was going to give you credit. Even when you said I may lose a point, I gave you credit. Immediately in my mind, I'm going to tell you why. Because I know the effort it takes, and I see the effort that you give. You know what I mean? You tell me in a heartbeat, hey, bro, we can do this, but it's going to have to be after this.
Yeah.
Because this is what I told my baby. And I respect that, man. I mean, I never had to deal with that, bro. I mean, mine been in the house since day one. So trust me, I see it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't knock myself down for it at all.
Yeah.
Because I make up in different areas, and that's why I said being active. I do know, man, you can be in the same household with a parent, and sometimes you take for granted that child is there, man, but you're not doing anything with the child.
Yeah, that's sad. I think that's even worse, bro.
Man, it is worse. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's very much worse.
I actually live that way, to be honest.
I did too.
Yeah, not with my mom, but oh, definitely. Yeah, popcorn's in the house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but active with my life, not really.
Yeah.
Being truthful, not really.
That's why, that's why I always, as an outsider looking in, and I watch kids and how they act outside their parents, when they're not with their parents, what have you, or when they're with their parents and they're around just company, I often wonder, do you still observe your kids? Observe their actions and what they're doing?
You better believe it. That's natural. That's like instinct. Yeah, I mean, as adults, my kids, I look at my kids like young men now. Yeah. These are men. Mm-hmm. I'm watching them I'm watching their characteristics. I'm watching how they talking. I'm watching their swag. I'm watching everything. Because as soon as they get out of line, I'm gonna check that. Yeah. I may not do it in front of everybody. I'm gonna put them to the side. Hey man, that ain't how we get down. That's not how we raised you. And as men, they respect it. Yeah. So they watch themselves. As much as I'm watching them, when they're around me, in my company, they watching themselves, bro.
And even when I say observe, I mean even from when they are 2, 3, 4 years old, going into school, coming into their own, you continue to observe them, as far as trying to figure out what it is that they like to do, what their gift is, helping them find their way.
That's natural parenting, though. That's natural parenting.
Because a lot of parents don't do that.
Oh shit!
I mean, when I look at other folks and their kids.
Let me give you an example. Sheldon, we rodeoed. Mm-hmm. We rodeoed, and I really wanted my kids to be participants. So as soon as they were able, we got into it. Austin had more of a talent in rodeo. Not to say that Sheldon didn't. It's just that the natural balance and everything that comes with it, timing, Austin had more of that. So I focused more on Austin with rodeo. Sheldon, on the other hand, had speed, and he was stronger than Austin. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I saw the avenue where he could utilize his speed and his strength, then we focused on that sport for him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, man, you see those things. I mean, you watch him playing, and you know who can climb a tree better. So the one who ain't got no ability to climb the tree, hey, get your head now. You can't climb no tree good.
Because it's some parents. Some parents don't see that though.
Oh man,
some parents.
I can't even imagine.
Some parents don't see that because some parents think they child the best basketball player, football player, whatever.
I ain't touch that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
But they can go home and dismantle the motor in the car and put it back together.
Yeah.
But they still want this child to be a basketball, football player, soccer player, whatever.
I never pushed my kids. I never pushed them on anything. I encouraged them once I saw what they were better at. But you know my thing. I wanted all my kids, everybody in the house, and I said this to my wife. I don't care what sport they play. Everybody gonna play baseball. Well, everybody can't play baseball.
Yeah. But I didn't grow up in your house because I would have been missing the ball.
Well, and once we realized that you never got good timing, we would have moved on.
That happened.
But you'd have been out there as a young kid learning. I promise you that.
We're going to try it.
Oh, yeah.
And see if it works for you. We're going to see.
As a kid, everybody in my house was going to play baseball. Yeah. My daughter didn't play softball again. She played early on. And she didn't play again until her sophomore year or junior year.
It's funny you said that, man, because I grew up like that. Growing up in Detroit. I mean, it was 5 of us in the house, right? So I guess we're going to be Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in my house to play an instrument. You're gonna do something musically. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome though.
No,
Well,
it wasn't awesome. It was awesome if God gave you that gift.
I don't
What
have
if you
a
didn't
music,
learn
I
how
don't
to
have a
play?
musical talent, so
Yeah, so I had a sister that couldn't play nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
But she, I guess everybody wanted her to sing.
yeah, I was just about to ask that. Was she the singer?
Not really.
Well, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson couldn't play any instruments, right?
Yeah, and and honestly, I didn't grow up playing the piano.
Oh, okay.
My mom she purchased a piano for my brother, and
Your brother.
for my brother, man, and she brought me bongos and drums, but I never.
So can you play?
I can.
Okay.
I can't play, but that wasn't a gift that I got. And I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes we push kids into certain gifts, and without taking the time out to understand their uniqueness. And sometimes, honestly, that almost stem into a certain level of favoritism.
It could be.
Wow.
It could be.
It really does, man, because when you focus on a child, like for example, I speaking on my family and our parenting, I just look at some different things on where it could have been perceived that one of the sons, just because he had the gift of playing, maybe, okay, well, do I need to play because he played? Is that really what's going on? Do I need to, so is this the favorite? You've acknowledged this person's gift, and sometimes we're not careful as a parent, and it made me kind of grow up with my kids and say, well, look, understanding each one of them separate uniqueness and what made them special as an individual, because I didn't want it to be perceived that this person was favored opposed to this person here. You know what I'm saying? Each kid is unique and different in their own eyesight, and it's up to the parent to develop that into, and see it in them, acknowledge it, and don't be afraid of acknowledging, okay, that's your gift.
Right.
This is your gift over here.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you any better, but you guys are both unique and special.
And support them in their own.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. I agree with that totally, man.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And you got to be mindful, too. You got to be very mindful of their favoritism.
Man, jeez.
And when I talk to people about their kids or what have you and listen to them, I mean, I'm listening to them talk about their kids, but I'm wondering, are they listening to their kids? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, you saying this about your kids, you telling me all the good stuff. Well, give me some bad.
Because it's there, too.
Because I need to know all of it if you're going to tell it all.
Yeah, it's there, too. Yeah.
Do we really tell about the bad?
I will.
you?
Oh, yeah. What?
All day, every
Come
day.
on. You and I never talk.
Yeah,
Well,
we share it.
Yeah,
It come out. Yeah, but our kids are, honestly,
I'm
my
not
kids.
saying the bad is bad. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that there is bad. Like I never had to call you and say, "Hey man, don't you let this get out." I never had to make that phone call.
Yeah.
But we have talked truthfully amongst each other.
Yeah.
And it's negative in my house with my kids, bro. Come on, they're kids. They my kids, as a matter of fact. I'm actually thankful that my bad hadn't been that bad. Because if I judged it on my bad, I'm doing pretty good. If I gave them if they gave me half the hell I gave my mom, oh my God. You hear me?
Yeah.
Really? So, yeah, but it's bad. It's just not bad, but yeah, it's bad. I'm sure they look at me upside my head when I walk off, all that. They're kids. They've been kids.
Yeah, man, I mean, because, I just, I listen to my nephews and, and other folks' kids. If you just listen to them, you can get all the information you want from them.
And having an open door of communication, bro, where, like y'all know, I kept my sons with me. If I went somewhere, bro, 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna know where they can't go. Unless I'm leaving the house back when I was younger, purposely to go out and club or something. Of course they not going. Anything else, they was riding. But that gave me several opportunities. We ride and talk. And when they got a little older, they could choose the music. Which opened up different lanes of communication.
Yeah. And drive the car.
You definitely let them drive.
Let them drive, because I'm going to ride.
Oh, yeah. No driver's license, young? Oh, yeah, you can drive. Yeah. Because guess what they're going to do as soon as they get comfortable? Start talking.
Yep.
You let them play their music. You listen to their music. The music they listening to is gonna tell you a story of what is going on in their mind sometimes. So yeah, put your CD on. I'm probably giving up all the game on my sons. I probably never get in their car now, you know. But anyway,
We got one.
anyway.
Can I get the keys? I get up and move my car.
Oh, yeah, he won't let me drive the car. So
Get out the bed. I'm fully dressed, but I can move the car.
Ain't gonna happen. I don't trust you, Pop.
Trust me.
But anyway, yeah, man, you let them have the wheel, so to speak. You know, and it opened up a lot of lanes, man, for open communication. And more importantly, I wanted my sons to understand, hey, bro, you can trust me, man. Like, I'm not telling you I got your back. I'm showing you I got your back. Mm-hmm. And if anything go down, you can go tell anybody in the world, but guess who you really gonna have to tell? You have to tell me, because I'm gonna be the one that's gonna come through. And I think they got it, for real. Like, I left those alleys open. Those avenues was always open. Open communication, honesty. If they don't bring it, I leave it alone. If I hear something, first opportunity I get, I'm gonna touch bases on it to get it to come out. But I always wanted them to know. My sons call me Pop. Mm-hmm. You hear me? Mm-hmm. You want to know why they call me Pop? Because of the Wayans Brothers show.
Oh, Pop.
Bang, bang.
Bang, 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 yeah. Now, they be mad if they saw me doing that in the kitchen. But anyway, they call me Pop, and I love it because it's their uniqueness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Two boys on the show.
And they call me Pops, bro. Yeah. You know? But my point is, they trust the old man. They trust Pop because I got them. And I made sure that, man. That was my riding time. That was my trusting you to drive and you do your thing and take the wheel. I got you, bro. So we would ride and talk, man, so many times, bro. I'm really glad I did that.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, man, because I'm just gonna go back to my childhood. That would be that time me and my father, Dad, we would take his son home. Mm-hmm. And he dropped him off in East Texas. And then we get to the sign that said 100 miles to Dallas. He will pull the car over.
Let you get it.
You know you can drive, don't you? And I'm no license, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive 100 miles from that point back to our house.
Yeah, it's bonding time, man.
And that was our time to do whatever, say whatever I wanted to say. You know, him say what he wanted to say. Mm-hmm. You know, it's some things that were said in that car that my mother would never know.
Right. Can you imagine the trip to Houston with Papa?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm driving?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, you know, we talking 14, 15.
Yeah. He wants the Cadillac to go whatever the dash maximum is.
We got to get there.
Yeah, man.
You know,
that was bonding time, man.
Yeah, no, you know, though when I look back on that as an adult, I'm like, wow. So I got the chance to experience that with my nephew last summer. It was just me. It was me and him, but we had my little cousin. But he's not little. He's in his 20s now. But I pulled over. I said, hey, man, you gonna drive? Let him drive. Put his music on. Matter of fact, I text you that day.
Mm-hmm. I remember going to Louisiana.
Going to Louisiana, man. Yeah. And, you know, right then and there, we riding, you know, listen to some music. I'm doing me, talking to him. Right there, I felt he trusted me that day.
Yeah.
He truly trusted me. And I trusted him that he was not going to tear up my vehicle.
Right. And he understand that level of trust and respect that you give when you give the wheel. Mm-hmm. I mean, I keep using that, you know, that phrase, but it's literally, I'm giving you the wheel. I trust you right now.
Exactly.
And it's very important. I don't even know if Popcorn knew what he was doing.
Yeah, in his own way. He
may have. No, he may have. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he had to have known because he like, I can't do this tonight.
Yeah,
I know he can. Yeah. Because I've taught him how to do it.
I know we left South Dallas many a night headed back to Oak Cliff, and I had no choice but to drive, and he let me know that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you driving, and you're going to drive it this way and this speed, and I'm like 13.
Conscious
7th
enough.
grade, Dre.
I had to do my son like that. It was that's how my son learned how to drive.
That's how both of mine learned how to drive.
You know, I was in a situation he needed to drive. I said, "You gonna drive?"
Oh,
today?"
I wasn't in the situation. Yeah, this was by choice for me.
Well, it was that was when I said situation. It was my choice
Okay.
to put him in a
all right,
situation.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he didn't have to drive.
Okay.
You know, that was my choice. He's gonna drive that day. I need him. I need him to drive across town and go pick somebody up.
Oh, you wasn't even in the car.
I wasn't in the car. I said, "You gonna drive today?"
Now that's trust. That's trust. Oh, you gonna drive today?
You gonna drive today, man? You don't saw me drive.
That's
right?
trust. Now that's trust.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I ain't
No
gonna say
bonding
that's
time, but
no,
that's
ain't no
trust.
bonding time. You gonna drive today? What you mean, Dad? You gonna drive today, man?
Well, I imagine when he got back with the whip, y'all bonded.
Yeah.
Wasn't nothing wrong.
No, it
The
wasn't
car
nothing
was in hold. It was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's bonding time then.
yeah. He
I
drove.
know you embraced him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Speaking of Lil Shep, man, have you spoken with him since all this mess been going on?
Yeah.
Is he good out there?
He's good out there in L.A.
I mean, I know he's not in the hood in L.A. I'm
No,
very
he's
comfortable.
not.
He's not in. But
No.
But
He's
is he
not. He's
good?
doing well out there. But you know what? We're not in the hood here.
Good point, man.
We you know.
That was downtown Dallas. Yeah, good point.
We're not in the hood, but it affects us. You know.
Yeah.
It affected him. He's doing well, but you know.
But nothing going on out there.
Nothing going on, and to be honest with you, I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
You gave him those tools?
Man, I gave those tools to him when he was
Ain't taught him how to use them?
absolutely. I want to say when he was about 6, 7 years old. A lot of parents. We discussed some of that.
It's in Detroit, right?
Man, I kid you not, man. When my son was 7 years old in Detroit, and there's a lot of people might look at that and they say, well, you know what, man, he had no business showing his son how to handle himself. But honestly, those are normally people that didn't live where I live.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference in truth
Yeah,
and lies.
Yeah.
That's your truth.
that's my truth.
So,
you know, I
cares?
show my
Who cares?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
Yeah.
care at all.
Exactly.
You know, my son is is you know, if you see my son, you know, you like, man, that's a decent dude. He's doing
good
well
dude.
for
I
himself.
love
He's a
him.
good
Yeah.
dude, you know.
Yeah.
But he had the opportunity to learn at 6 or 7 how to handle weapons because I thought it was important in the area I grew up in. I grew up in the inner city of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle, you know, didn't mean I had a bad lifestyle, but it did mean my surroundings. I need to understand how to handle myself. My mom gave me that tool when I was that age.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a blessing. It's something I never forgot. It's something I praised my mom on, and I wanted him to learn the same way I learned. So
Yeah.
I gave him some tools. So if he get into anything in LA, I ain't worried about it.
But what about dealing with the police? What about dealing with LAPD? Did you give him those tools?
Absolutely.
Did you give him that understanding?
Absolutely.
And the history of what that is, what that's about.
Well, you know, and
I mean, it is LA,
it is LA.
Yeah.
It is LA, man.
which
but
we all headed there. If you ask me, we all headed. Oh, it's a lot to come. But I'm just saying, you know, that's where they started riots, man.
yeah,
That's where it go down. You know, LA was on the map
yeah.
for
Many years.
retaliation for being fed up, which you know, he out there. I thought about it.
You know, it's crazy you're talking about our kids now, but you know, let me ask you a question. Seeing that our kids didn't really hands on. I mean, we were in the generations where we got to hear about, and then honestly, we caught in. You figured last riots was actual civil rights movement in about 60. I think Martin Luther King last speech in Detroit was in 68.
Okay.
So we, you know, I was born in 71, so I didn't directly get to see him, but I came off from the still. It was still
Wheels still moving on.
still, yeah. It wasn't over. You know what I'm saying? So we got to experience at least hearing about the civil rights movement, and not only that, we got to at least get the opportunity to experience the feelings because they wasn't.
They were still fresh.
They were still fresh. Our kids, it's different for them because they don't experience. They haven't really saw what we saw. They haven't experienced. I think they're experiencing it on a different degree, man.
Well, I mean,
you know,
if you're speaking of riots, then I agree with you. But I'm talking about innocent interaction with cops and what's going on in the world today. Like we have to feed our kids and give them knowledge of simple traffic stops.
Do you separate those conversations between your daughter and your sons? I mean, is it a separate conversation, or how you deal with that?
I actually did pull my sons to the side, away from my daughter. I don't even know why, but I did. You know. Wow, that's. I mean, I never thought about that.
I never thought about that either.
But I did. Yeah, I did. And you have girls, so
yeah, and that's why.
But I have had the conversation with my daughter. But you have to understand, my sons were driving way earlier than she was. You know what I'm saying? So I had to give them, look, man, this is what you do. This is what you don't do. And I never really thought about her because she was so much younger. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
But once she was taking the car, oh yeah, she got to sit down. Yeah.
Wow. Did you get to sit down, Sheldon, as an individual with your parents?
Actually, honestly, I didn't.
Wasn't no need though.
I mean, I didn't.
What was the need?
I mean, this is the sit down I got.
I got one, man.
This is the sit down I got.
On
driving the
how
car,
to carry yourself with the
that?
police. No,
it was probably different from what the one I give my kids now, because see, my mom gave us the whole scenarios of like driving back and forth from Mississippi. Her brothers, and she watched how the police would pull him over, and I mean, because they travel back and forth all the time, and he got pulled over all the time, and just for no reasons.
Right.
So I got that. I got that conversation.
Okay. I mean, I got how to carry myself, how to be a young man, how to be, a stand-up guy. I got that from home.
Did you?
Yeah, I got that.
You
got
he
had a lot of dealings with police too.
Man, this is what he he told me one time in his own way. We driving home. He right behind me, and I didn't even know this. I'm in the 76 Monte Carlo, driving down Daniel. We turn on Crescent. I go down. I drive to the back by the garage. He drives to the front. So I get to the house before he does. So his thing was, you driving. No, you're driving too fast. You made it here before I did, and I was right behind you. You didn't see me? To me, right then, I ain't see you. I wasn't driving that fast. Yeah, you were. So basically what he was telling me is, if I see you, the police see you, slow yourself down, especially in this residential district. Because don't get yourself caught up. Then later on, as time progressed, I told you this because.
Right. But you never had.
I never got into any trouble, but he wanted to say, be mindful of what you're doing at all times and obey the law. So
we got an audience out there, though.
That's conversation of not getting in trouble.
Okay, right.
I'm talking about the conversation where
just not doing anything wrong.
Listen, son, you are a young black male, and if the police pull you over, and this is the exact conversation I had with my sons, when the police pull you over, don't ask no questions. Why? You know what you need. It's systematic. They're gonna ask you, even though they know before they even stop you, they know whether or not your car is insured. They know whether or not your car is registered. It's all coming up on the computer. But two things that they're gonna ask you for: driver's license, insurance. Have that in your hand. If your car tinted, Sheldon had that little Camaro. Let both those windows down, bro. Have your credentials hanging out that car.
So this is not just for your kids, man. This is for the people out there listening to.
Well,
right?
I'm just telling you what I did with mine. I hope it blessed somebody else. But I seriously had this conversation with my sons. The first thing that you're not gonna do, bro, is ask, "What you stop me for?" Difference it make. You know what I mean? What difference does it make? If you got a problem with why you're being stopped, you deal with that once you're done with that traffic stop. Because he got a boss just like everybody else. So if you felt like you were wrongly pulled over, you address that with superiors, not with him. He not supposed to waver in why he stopped you.
So
what you asking it for?
Because what was your reaction? What was it you told the young man?
I got a different point of view on that one, man.
Early today when we walked in, because on that officer's mind is what I'm going home.
Oh yeah, well that's very important, man. This can get this could be a part two, because when you being stopped, man, and I totally agree with the officer, bro. An officer's mentality, and it should be, I'm going home at the end of my shift. I'm gonna do my job, and hopefully all of them do their job honestly. But when I make a traffic stop, I'm gonna engage you, and if you give me what I'm asking for, and you're respectful, if I ask you for any reason, can you exit your vehicle? Me personally, I'm getting out the car, bro.
Good luck with that.
Well,
for me,
good luck with you staying in the car. Yeah. But my point is, you have several outs, and those are, how are you as a man when he first approached you? Mm-hmm. You one of those guys that's gonna sit in the car. Hey man, what you stop me for? You dictate your stop. This me. Mm-hmm. I think that you dictate your stop. First off, if they stopped you, ask yourself, what was I doing? Maybe you was speeding.
Mm-hmm. It may have been my coffee cup with coffee up to my mouth.
Anything.
When he saw me.
Or you may not know why he stopped you, and your car may have been the last car that was called out on. Mm-hmm. Be on the lookout for yo. And that's what you driving. It's not the car in question, but what if it is?
Because they don't have a license plate.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying? There's several avenues, man, of why you may be getting stopped. So what I'm saying is, and what I taught my sons was, don't let your initial contact be what you stopped me for. Mm-hmm. No, have your credentials ready, give them to them, and like any man is supposed to do, hey, how you doing, officer? Hey, bro, how you doing today? Here go my credentials. You know what I mean? And because if you aren't doing anything wrong, what's the big deal? If you are out here accessing these highways, these Texas roads, these city roads, these county roads, you can get stopped. You don't want a police stopping you, you need to go get on a horse and buggy, and you still might get stopped. But I'm just saying, when you're using these highways, man, they can stop you. Where we become above the law where we can't get stopped. That's my point. Every police ain't pulling you over pulling pistols out. You know what I mean? Most of these problems are coming from the defense mode that we are in as black men. And we don't have to be. We ain't doing nothing wrong. Share with me, bro. I'm not. Listen, this is my truth. I done told you, this ain't about right or wrong. This is about what's my truth.
Well, I came again. I came up where in the area.
I'm listening to you.
Where
we ain't gonna talk about hood and getting pulled over.
No.
Okay, I'm not. I've been bust upside my head by the police, and I still think some.
My point is this. There's some departments that have a history of pulling people over for no reason.
You run up and down I-35, they racial profile all day, from Round Rock clean across to what's this down here, Lower Dallas. Yeah. They racial profile all day. I get you.
But what I'm getting at is this. I totally agree with that. You shouldn't be defensive, but sometimes you're just not aware of those particular departments.
Right. So what's your defense on that, though? You can go anywhere you want to. You don't have to stop right then.
No, what I'm getting at is you made a statement about like it's okay to get out the car. Some areas I'm just not getting out the car.
So 3 o'clock in the day. 3 o'clock in the day. You have a traffic stop. 3 o'clock in the day. In a populated area, and for whatever reason the cop asks you, do you mind stepping out the car over here to the side? As long as you're in front of his camera, bro. You got a problem with that? Seriously?
Me getting out of my car?
Yeah.
It depends on where. I do. I personally have a problem with getting out of my vehicle because I think when you ask for my ID, it's gonna say whether I have any warrants out.
Right.
It's gonna say. It's going to give you the information I need when you pull my license up. Mm-hmm. It's going to give, my car license.
Yeah,
it's going to tell you all my information like that. If you need me to get out of my car, you might need to get your supervisor.
That's one of your avenues to use.
So, and I'm not saying I'm gonna argue with you, but I ain't in a rush to get out my car.
Right. Okay. I'm
And then
not.
if
I'm
you-
not
yeah,
saying.
I'm not
saying. I'm not saying that I'm 100. I'm 100% in compliance to ignorance. I'm not saying that by no means. But I'm saying if he has a justifiable cause to ask me to step out my car and he shared that with me, bro, I'm cool with that.
Really, I can't see nothing justifiable for getting out.
Well, that's because you're not the cop. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I get what you're saying, but what if? Okay, well, you just said you don't see any justifiable cause. To get
I
out
just
of the car.
don't.
This is how I raise my kids. This is what I taught my kids. If you know you haven't done anything wrong, you really have nothing to worry about. You understand what I'm saying? And from Detroit to Dallas, bro, it's crooked cops. But from Detroit to Dallas, it's cops that's just out there doing their job.
You do.
You know, we don't want to say or be honest about my tent too dark. We don't want to say or be honest with the fact you wasn't wearing your seatbelt. We don't want to be honest about those little things. You stopped me because my tail light out. Which has happened this weekend. I get it. But yeah, that's justifiable cause to get pulled over, man. How we are as a man, once we pull it over, I think it dictates how a traffic stop may go. Don't get me wrong, bro. It's some ignorant police out here. Just like it's some ignorant people, it's some ignorant civilians, white and black. This ain't no white or black. It's ignorant. It's ignorance. But at the end, put yourself in, let me ask you this. You're a police. You make a simple traffic stop. And immediately, the person you just stopped for a small technicality, just go there, man. What's your mindset? I'm gonna chill.
I'm not an officer. I can't even.
No, what I'm saying, there's a lot of things you want. I bet you play in your mind sometimes how it would go out or how it would play out.
So think about what you will do if that situation came back.
No, as an
I'm
officer. No, I'm asking.
I
I'm
think
asking as an officer. I'm asking as an officer.
I mean, you know, I think it takes an
say
officer
you
to-
stop
I think
me.
it's important for the officer to be to the point on what they're pulling you over for. You know, a lot of these situations is too much dialogue. And sometimes inappropriate dialogue is what we're offended by. It's not the actual.
Okay, so you offended several times. People get offended on their job. They ain't tripping. We
Some
know
people
how
do trip on their job.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I understand that in every scenario there are people that do this. I understand that.
But I mean, a lot of times,
we can go all night.
danger.
We can go all night